In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. Hello everyone, this is the Bearded Lantern, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite superheroes, the Green Lanterns. Before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to my good friend Dave Shaves. If you've ever wanted to know more about safety razors and using traditional shaving soap with a brush, check him out. You can find a link to his channel in the description below. When I wrote my first book, my chief inspiration was not any one specific Green Lantern. Rather, I was inspired by the general idea of the Green Lantern. Because becoming a Green Lantern doesn't have an application process. Someone has to be chosen to be a Green Lantern. A glowing green ring travels through the universe, finds a suitable being somewhere, and says, "You have the potential to overcome great fear." That's a powerful statement. You have the potential to overcome great fear. The fact is that this potential is in everyone. Every living thing has this potential to overcome great fear. So why doesn't every man, woman, child, animal, and insect have a ring? The simple truth is that this potential is often buried deep in our minds, beneath the fear and the doubt and the belief in our own limits. A Green Lantern is someone who has tapped into their own potential and has gone beyond their fear and doubt and belief of their own limits. Before we go further, I'd like to give a brief synopsis of the Green Lantern universe, starting with a collection of energies known as the emotional spectrum. Essentially, for every color of the rainbow, there is a corresponding emotion. Red is rage, orange is greed, yellow is fear, green represents willpower. Blue is hope, indigo is compassion, and violet is love. The fact that willpower is at the center of the spectrum is not a coincidence. You have on the left side red, orange, and yellow, which are representing negative emotions, while blue, indigo, and violet on the right side represent positive emotions. Willpower, therefore, becomes a neutral emotion, a balancing point between all the negative emotions and the positive emotions. It is in the state of willpower that we find the will to action, where a feeling and desire to do something becomes the action of doing it. To put this in a real-life context, we can see examples of people tapping into this potential everywhere, from direct representations of soldiers, firefighters, and police officers, to more subtle forms such as teachers and professional athletes. The potential has to do with not only reaching a limit, but also going beyond the limit to achieve feats that others would look at and say, "I could never do that." It's not that these people are without fear. In truth, fear is an important part of the human psyche. Just as you cannot know light without darkness, one cannot know courage without fear. It's more that these people see the fear, they feel it, they are aware of it, but at the same time, they end up simply doing what they need to do anyway. The will to action takes precedence over the feeling of fear. This is a big reason why we dress up like police officers and firefighters and soldiers, and more importantly, superheroes, so that we can somehow feel some of that courage ourselves. It's at this point that I'm reminded of a lesser-known Green Lantern by the name of Hana. Hana comes from a planet known as Overcron 6, and the culture there has developed a total aversion to the use of weapons or any implements that would offer an advantage in combat. In the comics, Hana is always depicted using his own strength instead of any of the powers the ring might give him, with the exception of flight and protection from the vacuum of space. He is taken to the logical extreme what makes a Green Lantern a Green Lantern. Indomitable willpower that sees him through every difficulty. It's safe to say that, considering having superpowers isn't required to be a Green Lantern, it isn't the ring that gives the true power. It's the potential inside that person that the ring saw, and therefore why they chose that person. That's the end of this video. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button if you like it, and be sure to subscribe for more great content. For the full discussion on Green Lanterns and the power of will, check out my book, Finding Your Own Power, Overcoming Fear and Being Your Best Self, via the link in the description below. And remember, all will be well. Just keep moving forward.